But don't worry, we will be seeing a different flavor of long unrelated to Western dragons before the Year of the Dragon is over. Boy, I sure cut it close, didn't I? Hello everyone, and welcome to the Speculative Wildlife Research Center. Today we're taking another look at long, also commonly known as Chinese dragons. The Chinese Year of the Dragon is almost over, so rather than having to wait 12 more years, we're having this one right now, having a look at these mythical beings as real living organisms through speculative biology. And just in the spirit of the Year of the Dragon, please drag your cursor onto the like and subscribe buttons to support the channel. But before we go on, I'd like to recommend y'all to check out Doomlings. This is a super fun card game to play with family and friends, each turn changing the rules of the game as the history of a fictional environment goes on, with each player using different trade cards to earn points and screw over the other players. So if you're looking for a fun game to play and would like to support the channel, please use this link to go check out their wares. And now, without further ado, let's get started. All across the world live beings of legend, animals that have been turned into mythical beings in the minds of people living near them. And, while this is a common phenomenon, today's research subject, found in the rivers of China, makes it clear exactly how a living being can attain this status. Lycophis phycophorus, the long, is a large aquatic predator descended from a clade of early carnivorans, the Miacids, which once had a diversity of species populating the Old World. One of these species began its divergence by developing a scaly hide formed from keratin, convergent with that of pangolins, although these scales are much smaller to allow a greater degree of mobility. Their underside, however, is not as well armored, and long ancestors would coil for protection, something modern long still do while sleeping. It is now believed these early carnivorans evolved this protection as a defense against predators like crocodiles, before outcompeting them as they became larger and more active predators. Soon, these animals became adapted to swimming, with their bodies becoming much longer and their strong tails becoming paddle-like to help them swim, with these scales helping streamline their body and make water flow around them with more ease. At the same time, their ears became much smaller and capable of being closed to prevent the entry of water while they swim. Despite their modern, mostly aquatic habits, these animals are still capable of occasionally walking onto land, and their sharp claws will help them hold onto the wet terrain as they do. One of the most interesting aspects about these animals is their chimu, a protuberant lump growing in front of their head. This is very similar to the melon, an echolocating organ of many cetaceans, acting in a more passive way to detect the presence of prey in the water. This organ will only become fully formed as the long age, and the long cubs will depend on their mothers for sustenance until this organ has developed. The chimu is helped by the long's whiskers, similarly used to sense prey, but acting through electroreception, detecting the bioelectric fields of prey animals as they swim by, an adaptation seen in other animals like the sotalia. They will approach their prey slowly, taking advantage of their long body, which helps them disguise their size, as well as their natural camouflage in order to remain unseen. Their body is a dark shade of grey, helping hide their position in the murky waters, and the structural coloration of their scales gives them an iridescence that further breaks up their outline, in many cases giving it the appearance of a school of much smaller fish when submerged, and shining brightly and beautifully when they leave the water. Furthermore, what fur is left in these mammals is long and reddish, similar in appearance to the algae present in the river's eating habits, and some of its keratin scales have developed into long projections that give the appearance of branching antlers, like those of deer, which make the long resemble dead logs as they lay in wait. Once close enough, the long will catch its prey using its long jaws and backwards facing teeth. While most of its prey are smaller aquatic animals found in the rivers they inhabit, they have been known to occasionally prey on large animals approaching the water's edge to drink, including deer, cows, and even children. All adult members of the species, be them male or female, will hold domain over large territories, violently fighting off any that wander into the rivers. Within these territories, they will build large structures similar to beaver lodges, through a mix of digging and arranging rocks and branches. These structures, known as dragon palaces, will act as dams that alter the flow of water, creating rich and well-delimited territories and hunting areas for each individual, also acting as a resting place for the long. Interestingly, the palaces built by the long have had the unexpected benefit of reducing the effect of floods in the area, causing them to be revered by the locals. This would turn them into a cultural symbol of the power of nature and rivers, which would lead to them being often used as an emblem of royalty in the areas where they live. The only time a long will allow the presence of another member of its species in its territory is during and after mating season, when males will produce loud, roaring calls to attract females towards their own territory. Once they have mated, the females will gestate for close to a year before giving birth to 1 or 2 well-developed pups, which they will care for until they are capable of hunting by themselves. And that's it for Speculative Biology look into long. This time we made a version quite different from our World of Dragons version. Long are famous for mixing features from many different animals, most noticeably mammalian and reptilian features, and with the last version being a reptile, a predator descended from dinosaurs, this one was much more interesting to make as a mammal, one descended from early carnivorans. We also decided to turn it into an aquatic animal to further differentiate it from the other one, especially appropriate since long were seen as guardians or gods of the rivers and bodies of water, capable of bringing rain and floods. This one also went through a bit of a redesign process, with me originally wanting to go with a more feline body plan before our patrons rightfully suggested going for something more similar to the original design, which was really for the best. And while its mammalian nature dulled a bit the coloration of this creature, I feel the addition of iridescence really helped the design pop. So I hope you like this one. These mythical beings are very popular, as we've seen before by your suggestions, and a lot of people wanted to see this version as well, so big thanks to all y'all. And also big thanks to our patrons and channel members for their support, especially to new members Varanus Augment and Krokman18. Remember, you too can join in if you want to support our channel, and you will get some nice bonuses too, like seeing all of our creatures and videos ahead of time and helping mold them into shape. Or you can also like, subscribe, or write a comment down there telling me any type of creature you would like me to give the Spec Evo treatment in the show. Any of those really help the channel a lot. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time on the Speculative Wildlife Research Center.